So we have an interstate also, since this is a pan-India organization, entrepreneurial organization. We have an interstate in Northeast, in Guwahati. So where 200 pan-India women are going. And this will be a talk on retail. Thank you so much. My sincere request to all members present here, I will be sending pictures myself by the evening. Please maintain certain decorum and conduct, and do not take selfies towards the end, which will help in the free and smooth flow of the program. Each of you who are interested in being photographed with Ms. Vidya Balan will be given a chance. Please be patient and cooperative. Thank you so much. I have to please come and introduce Ms. Bandana Tewari and Mr. Sanjay Garg. Thank you.
Sanjay, for as long as I've known him, I just knew that he is the face behind Raw Mango. When I got his profile and went through it, that's when I read of all the work he's been doing. I just heard about it, now have proof about it. Sanjay has been working with the handloom sectors for the last 5 years and is most known for giving unique identity to hand-woven products, especially the transparent silks of Chanderi and recently his work with Banaras brocades. He originally belongs to Rajasthan and has thus grown between many craft traditions around him since his childhood. He has tried to bring about an appreciation of the value of the same in his professional life. His design education consists of a short term at IICD Jaipur, which he left later to join NIFT, Delhi, to pursue a graduation course in textile design. Before founding Raw Mango, he has worked for Shades of India for a couple of years, and it was followed by his working for the Cluster Development Program in Madhya Pradesh, undertaken by the Textile Ministry. This was the turning point in his life when he decided to continue working with the weavers even after the project terminated. This marked the beginning of his work with Chanderi weavers, and since then he has worked with the weavers of Chanderi, Varanasi, Bengal, the block printers of Akola and Rajasthan so far, and hopes to work with many more handloom and craft clusters around the country. His work has always been central to him as a person, and he loves to collect old textiles, which help him in his professional career and educating him about the various textiles of the country. The story of Raw Mango. Raw Mango is a brand of contemporary Indian hand-woven textiles crafted using traditional techniques. It has continued to work with unstitched products and widening the scope of an indigenous product, which is the sari. In the 5 years, it has been working with the weavers of Chanderi, Varanasi, Bengal, and also with the block printers of Akola, Rajasthan. In the process, it has been able to increase the number of artisans it has associated with over the years to over 350 at present. The nature of this relationship is very responsible, according to which the company continues to give work year after year. This has had a positive effect in the clusters, which can be seen in the terms of better wages and increased scope for the weavers, where Raw Mango has been working over the years. Raw Mango as an organization endeavors to educate people about the making of a handloom product which undergoes manipulation through hands at each and every step. We need to understand that while for us it's only a product to adorn ourselves, the making of the same forms the core existence of an entire community. The awareness of the same equips us to overlook the same and appreciate the organic beauty of the product even more. And we have to give it to Sanjay. Hundreds and hundreds of families are getting the livelihood out of the good work which he and the other textile revivalists in the country are doing. Bandana. She's the features editor at Vogue India. She heads the fashion features department at Vogue India. She brings with her immense experience in the field of fashion journalism and is responsible for planning, visualizing and ideating the fashion features for the ultimate style Bible. A regular attendee at the fashion weeks all over the world, Bandana commissions fashion stories, presents fashion forecasts, and decodes the international trends, providing the latest in fashion news, reviews, and stories for the Indian reader. As fashion and lifestyle journalist, Bandana has comprehensively written for some of the world's leading lifestyle magazines and newspapers, like the International Herald Tribune, New York, New York Times, US Vogue, UK Vogue, Tank, Wallpaper, Condé Nast Traveler India, Architectural Digest India, etc. She's also a columnist for Business of Fashion, that is www.businessoffashion.com. In the past, she hosted and scripted 50 episodes of the first primetime fashion and style show for Indian television called Simply Style. She also hosted the first series of fashion webisodes in India of ifwtv.com. She has written a quaint travel book called The Little Guide to Italy. Bandana launched her career in the field of communications with a master's in mass communication and filmmaking from Jamia Millia University in New Delhi. And so we have Bandana here today. She's a regular feature at the Lakme and the Youth Fashion Week, and I see her interacting and working with meeting, and working with most of the designers there, especially the ones who are into the handloom side of it. And today she's here to help us understand how we can help in the bit and pitch in and do in our bit to revive the handlooms. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having us here. It's amazing to see so many colors and so many saris. My first trip to Hyderabad, and I have to tell you this, was when I was a young girl and I had to conduct a science quiz. I was working with Discovery Channel at the time, and I thought, damn, what are these kids eating? They're so bright, and I'm sure most of the mothers are sitting right in front of me. So thank you for having us back on behalf of Vidya and Sanjay. We are going to talk about handlooms, but we want to engage you in the way that we as normal consumers wearing saris, and so we want to make our questions and our talk very real about what is it about handlooms and saris that we love. And I can't start.
Yeah, Bandana will give you time. We just have one more thing to do.
Oh, sorry.
Okay?
Of course.
Anyway, thank you. Today, we have two eminent personalities, women from our Hyderabad, who have dedicated their life and have done commendable work on revival of handlooms. Swuzramma and Ms. Suraya Hassan Bose. I welcome them. Let us all welcome them to our program today, and we will be felicitating them on behalf of Flow. I request our Joint Secretary Sujini Dundu to escort them to their chairs. I will briefly introduce about them. Ms. Uzramma has been associated with the cotton textile industry since 1989. She founded a not-for-profit research consultancy for the industry, Dastakar Andhra, in 1992, which continues to be active in the fields of natural dyeing and marketing of cotton handloom fabrics. And after her retirement in 2005, Uzramma founded the Decentralized Cotton Yarn Trust, which is setting up small-scale units to process raw cotton to yarn at field locations using specially designed and developed electronically driven machinery. These units enable field-to-fabric cotton processing at village level, eliminating the damaging stages of baling and unbaling of cotton. The product is a new cotton fabric named Malka. It's also called freedom fabric, as Gandhiji used to exhort that all Indians should wear this fabric. And I think right now she is adorned herself with the Malka cotton sari. So this has an improved luster, absorbency and durability. She's also a practicing goldsmith trained under the contemporary British jeweller Catherine Manheim and at the City of London Polytechnic. At present, she is fully involved in the project to set up small-scale cotton field-to-fabric production unit. Her work extends to different states, not only our state and Andhra. in Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Orissa too. A big applause to Ms. Uzramma. I would request our chairperson, Ms. Rekha Lahoti, and Ms. Vidya Balan to honor Ms. Uzramma. When I was going through their journey and profiles, so interesting and so inspiring they are. Now I would like Rekha and Ms. Vidya Balan to felicitate Ms. Suraya Hassan Bose. Meanwhile, I'll briefly introduce her. Suraya Apa, as she is fondly called, is engaged in revival work of 4 different textiles. 4 different textile forms of Aurangabad, Paithani, Jamawar, Himru and Mashru. To Subhash Chandra Bose's nephew, Arabindo Bose, Suraya moved to Delhi, where she worked with the Department of Handicrafts and Handlooms and later with the Cottage Industries Emporium. She returned to Hyderabad and set up an independent handloom production unit. She rubbed shoulders with French designer Pierre Cardin, Italian fashion designer Roberto Capucci, and Japanese designer Hanno Mori, to name a few. She worked closely with them to supply handloom fabric abroad. She came to Hyderabad in the 80s to start her own export business with her uncle. Exporting hand-woven cotton dharis from Warangal, tie and dye fabrics and hand-block printed fabric in natural dyes to UK, Europe, Australia and Japan. She set up a small weaving unit in her premises, training women, especially widows, in the art of weaving. As there was no good English medium school in the vicinity, she opened a school, mainly for the kids of her artisans, weavers, free of cost. Now she has students of about 550 to 600 in her school. She's been bestowed by many awards, to name a few: the Godfrey Phillips Award, the Yudhvir Foundation Award, lately the Devi Award by the New Indian Express Group. At present, I think if I'm right, she's around 84 and she's full of enthusiasm and wants to revive wooden toys from Kondapalli, hand-painted animals from Nirmal, brass figurines from Orissa. She's planning to set up a new loom for Telia Romal, an oil-coated fabric that was highly prized in ancient Hyderabad. From morning till evening, she's all the time training the weavers, giving designs, and if she has any free time, she teaches in her school. Please give them a big, loud applause. Thank you so much, Ms. Uzramma, Ms. Suraya Hassan Bose. We are very honored and humbled to felicitate you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. So now the floor is all for you, Bandana ji, Sanjay Garg and Ms. Vidya Balan.
Start off, of course, with a very prized guest, Vidya, who is looking beautiful in Sanjay Garg's Suti sari. Vidya, there is no way we can start this conversation without our audience getting to know why and how you love saris so much. And did you ever plan for it to be, I'll give this mic to her. Did you ever think that just loving something as natural as it is to you would be standing up and giving a voice to such a big movement of wearing saris?
Good evening, everyone. And I must start by saying I'm extremely honored to meet Uzramma and Suraya ji, sorry. I've heard about your work, and I didn't think I'd get an opportunity to actually meet you all in person. Bandana, my love for saris actually, I don't know when it began. I have a picture of myself from the time I was 5, I think, in one of my mom's saris. So she tells me that I would pull, her dupattas and any long fabric that I got and I'd drape it like a sari. So I think I was always fascinated because my mom at that time, or even my aunts, none of them really wore anything but saris. I remember it was much later that some of my aunts, even today, go to bed in a sari. They don't wear a night suit or a nightie. So I've grown up watching women wear saris day in and day out. For occasion, no occasion, it was a sari. The type of sari you wore changed depending on whether you were at home or you were going to a temple, or then you were going to work, or you were going for a family function or something like that. So I think my idea of beauty actually derives from the sari. For me, it was therefore the most natural thing to do. I find it extremely feminine, graceful, sensuous, strong, powerful, fun, everything. I think it's how you want it to be, what purpose you want it to serve at that particular point of time. So that's how my love for saris began.
I think we are lucky enough because we do come from childhoods where going for sari shopping with your mum, for me, was the most delightful thing. And we did it the old traditional way, where you sit on the floor, and if it is for a particular function, my mother would take the sari out in the sunlight, because some Kanchipuram silks, you could have a black thread if you're going for a wedding, or if you were gifting it, or if you're pregnant, then it had to be fully black.
Yeah.
So it was a very touch and feel. And when I got to know Sanjay and went to his beautiful studio in New Delhi in a farmhouse, I was so amazed, and I hope you get an opportunity when you go to Delhi to visit it, because you walk into this very Spartan room with all these sort of old school cupboards, and there is no frills, there's nothing, but you sit down on the floor, and you'll be given your chai, and suddenly the cupboards open, and then there's the magic of all the colors, layered, and he's built that. So my question now is to Sanjay. How do you plan? The world is moving so fast, and fortunately or unfortunately, we live in cities like Bombay and Delhi that is catapulting into the future, right? How are you going to hang on to this touch and feel sensibility, which is the essence of handloom, of handmade?
Well,